Revealed. My son's heartwarming voice message exposed an incredible truth about our bond. Amazing. The faint buzz of a message notification broke the silence in Lisa's small, cozy home. After a grueling shift at the diner, she sank into the well-worn couch, fatigue draping over her like a heavy blanket. She played the voicemail from Jake, her teenage son, and her heart twisted. "Mom, I just wanted to say I love you. Thank you for everything you do for me," he said, his voice warm and sincere. Tears streamed down her face. In those few simple words, Jake wrapped her in an embrace she desperately craved. So often, she bore the weight of providing for their future, feeling undeserving of such love. But in that moment it felt like a healing salve on old wounds, whispering that maybe the sacrifice wasn't for nothing. Still, shadows of the past loomed. Her father, a World War II veteran, had always disapproved of her choices, leaving scars that cut deep into her heart. She vowed not to pass down that bitterness to Jake, yet fear of a future misunderstanding lingered. Could she shield him from the ghosts that haunted her? Their lives took an unexpected turn when the corner cafe, the heart of their community, faced closure. Panic rippled through town. This cafe wasn't just a hangout. It was where Jake learned to make pancakes, where they had celebrated so many milestones. The entire town rallied around it, and Lisa, nurturing that fire of community, decided to involve Jake. "Let us brainstorm ideas together," she suggested, her heart hopeful. They planned bake sales and car washes, teaming up with neighbors who had once shared cheers over coffee. But then a misunderstanding struck. During a heated discussion, Jake believed Lisa had sided with a friend who seemed less enthusiastic about the cafe. Anger brewed within him. "You don't get it, Mom. You're so focused on who us doing what that you forgot about us," he yelled, the disappointment slicing through her. Bewildered, Lisa felt her heart break. She thought of the sacrifices, the late nights spent juggling jobs. Did he really think she chose anyone over him? The tension thickened. Jake, ignited by a sense of justice, began opposing the prejudices they encountered. But Lisa felt him slipping away, their once close bond now riddled with distance. Confrontations turned into battles, and soon they felt like adversaries in a war neither of them wanted to fight. Lisa's heart clenched, and familiar echoes of her father's disapproval whispered in her mind. How could she avoid repeating those mistakes? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the weeks crawled on, Lisa found herself attending community meetings, hoping to show Jake her unwavering support. Every confrontation with him felt like a punch to the gut, the pain of misunderstanding echoing in the silence between them. Would they ever mend their relationship? Or were these growing pains too much? As they prepared for the last fundraiser, she stood on the precipice, feeling a desperate hope yet fearing the final blow of a rift too deep to repair. Would Jake one day see the sacrifices she had made? Or would he walk a path she feared so much? Just when she thought they might find common ground, a storm seemed ready to break, leaving the future uncertain. Lisa stared at the colorful flyers scattered across the dining table, her hands trembling slightly. Each one was a reminder of the upcoming bake sale meant to save the corner cafe. The town was counting on them, but right now the only thing weighing on her mind was Jake. She could hear the faint sound of him strumming his guitar in his room, but a wall seemed to exist between them, separating their hearts even further. Deep down she longed to reach out, to tell him that she understood. But every time she opened her mouth, doubt crept in, silencing her voice. What if he pushed her away again? The last thing she wanted was to make things worse. She took a deep breath and tried to push her worries aside, pouring her heart into a few handmade cookies instead. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky a warm orange, Jake came into the kitchen, still holding his guitar. He looked at the cookies, 3 batches scattered across the counter, and raised an eyebrow. "Are we seriously going to sell all these?" His question caught her off guard, and she turned to face him. "It's for the cafe, Jake. We need to show everyone that we believe in it together." "Right," he replied, his tone dripping with sarcasm. Together. But it feels like you're working with everyone else but me. Lisa's heart sank. That's not true. I want you here but you keep withdrawing. It's like you're angry for no reason. Jake ran a hand through his hair, visibly frustrated. I'm angry because you don't see it. You don't see how hard this is. The cafe closing means more than just losing a place to eat, Mom. Feels like losing everything we've built together. His words hit her like a punch, igniting old fears. I do see it. You think I don't care? You think I haven't sacrificed for this family? I've always done everything to make a better life for us. Her voice cracked, raw emotion piercing through her resolve. For a moment, they just stared at each other, the air heavy with tension. A storm of hurt and longing swirled between them, both desperate for connection yet afraid of the pain it might bring. Suddenly, Jake's expression softened. It's just I don't want to end up like you and Grandpa. I don't want this bitterness to break us. Realization washed over Lisa, leaving a bitter taste in her mouth. You think I wanted that? I'm trying to show you how to fight for what matters, Jake. To believe in something worth the struggle. Silence filled the space, thick and stifling. They had finally spoken the words that haunted them. And yet, it felt like they were on the first step toward healing, even if the road ahead was uncertain. I know, Mom, he said softly, but it's hard. I need you to trust me too. I do trust you, she whispered, stepping closer. I just don't want to lose you. As if drawn together by an invisible force, they shared a moment of understanding, the raw vulnerability hanging in the air like a lifeline. Let us really do this together, Jake said, his voice steadier now. Let us save the corner cafe. And let us fix things between us. Lisa nodded, a hopeful smile breaking through the remnants of tension. She reached for his hand, squeezing it. We'll work on it. Together. But before they could bask in the warmth of that moment, the doorbell rang. A sudden chill slid into the cozy warmth of their kitchen, a reminder of the outside world waiting, full of challenges they hadn't yet faced. Who could it be? As Lisa glanced toward the door, her heart raced, sensing that whatever awaited them on the other side was about to change everything once again. Would it bring the breakthrough they needed, or another hurdle that could pull them apart? Lisa walked to the door, her heart pounding. She hesitated, her hand hovering over the knob. Could it be someone from the town, ready to support their cause? Or perhaps another reminder of the turmoil brewing beneath the surface? With a deep breath, she turned the knob and swung the door open wide. Standing on the porch was Mrs. Thompson, the elderly woman from down the street. She had always been a fixture in the town, hosting potlucks and holiday gatherings, her laughter a thread that bound the community together. But tonight, her expression was serious, a stark contrast to her usual sunny demeanor. Lisa, I hope I'm not interrupting, she said, her voice tinged with concern. I heard about the bake sale and thought I'd bring you something. Behind her, Lisa could see a basket filled with packaged treats, a variety of cookies, and even some homemade jam. It was a kind gesture, but Lisa couldn't shake off the feeling that Mrs. Thompson was here for more than just sweets. Thank you, Mrs. Thompson. That means a lot, Lisa stammered, trying to steal glances at Jake, who had quietly followed her to the door. Mrs. Thompson's eyes softened as she noticed Jake standing just inside the kitchen. Oh, Jake, you're getting so tall. Remember how we used to bake together at the cafe? Jake lifted an eyebrow and shrugged, managing a weak smile. Yeah, good times. There's something special about the cafe, Mrs. Thompson continued, her voice dropping to a whisper. You both know that, right? The heart of this town is at stake. But it's not just a cafe, it's your family legacy too. The weight of her words hung between them, reminding Lisa of everything she feared losing. I know we're really trying. Together, she said, glancing at Jake. The thing is, Mrs. Thompson pressed on, stepping closer, there's another way for you to save it. I've been hearing whispers about donations from the town. People want to help, they just need direction. A donation? Jake echoed, eyebrows knitted in skepticism. What do you mean? They want to be part of this, she continued. But they worry you'll turn them away. You're both carrying so much, trapping it all inside. You need to let them in. Your pain is real, but so is their desire to help. The words resonated with Lisa. How often had she tried to shield Jake from the stress, thinking she could carry the burden alone? This was a chance, perhaps even a lifeline. Together, Lisa repeated softly, "We need to let them help us." "Yes," Mrs. Thompson smiled warmly. "But you need to be vulnerable. Share what you're both feeling. It will change everything." Jake's gaze shifted between the two women, a storm of emotions brewing within him. What if they judge us? What if it doesn't work? Then it doesn't work, Mrs. Thompson replied. Her eyes sparkled like she held a secret. But what if it does? What if, by trusting the town, you rebuild that bond you long for? You'll create something beautiful not just for the cafe but for yourselves. As Mrs. Thompson stepped back, she placed the basket down on the porch. Think about it. Sometimes you have to let go of control to find real hope. And maybe trust means more than just keeping everything to yourselves. After a moment, Lisa stepped back into the kitchen, her heart racing with the weight of the conversation. Jake trailed behind her, lost in thought. "Maybe we should," Lisa started, but Jake interrupted. "Mom, I want to try," he said, determination spilling from his voice. "But I don't want to lose you in this fight. Can we promise to keep talking? No more walls?" Lisa reached for his hand again, feeling that familiar tug of connection. "I promise, Jake. We can do this. Together." As they exchanged determined nods, the door creaked in the wind, whispering secrets of what lay ahead. What if the first step down that uncertain path could lead to the healing they desperately sought? But behind the heartfelt promise, a nagging thought lingered. If they let their walls down, could they survive the truth that might come crashing in next? Lisa leaned against the kitchen counter, her heart still racing from the conversation. Jake's hand felt warm in hers, grounding her. But a whirlwind of emotions churned inside her. Could they really let the town in? Trust was a fragile foundation, especially when everything felt so precarious. "Mom," Jake said, breaking the silence as he stared at the basket left behind. The cookies and jam, once a simple gesture of goodwill, now loomed large like a symbol of their community's hope. "What do we do first?" She took a deep breath, her mind spinning with the possibilities ahead. "Maybe we could plan a meeting. Just to talk, to see who is willing to come forward. Could make all the difference." Jake nodded slowly, but uncertainty still flickered in his eyes. "And what if no one shows up? That would be embarrassing." "Then we'll deal with it together," Lisa reassured him, pulling him closer. It was vital that they stood united, no matter the outcome. "This isn't about perfection, Jake. It's about being honest and trying our best." "Yeah, but what about the cafe? What if they don't want to help?" "They will," Lisa said, a fire igniting in her heart. "If we let them in. If we show them that we care just like they care about us." With a sturdy resolve, she took a step toward the window, looking out to the street where familiar faces passed by. The reality of their declining cafe was undeniable, but so was the bond they shared with the community. Suddenly, a thought struck her, one that sent a chill down her spine. "Jake, what if we share our story online?" His eyes widened. "Like a video?" "Yeah, or a post. Something to explain what we're going through," she said, excitement bubbling up. "Feels scary, I know. But if we can connect with people beyond our front porch, maybe it becomes less about just us." Jake hesitated. "Do you think people would actually listen? They care about the cafe, but more than that, they care about you and me. This is bigger than the business." He stared at their reflection in the window, two silhouettes against the backdrop of their small town. Together then? Together. Lisa felt a rush of relief wash over her. The weight of the world felt a little lighter with Jake by her side. They started brainstorming, turning ideas over like flour in a mixing bowl, the optimism slowly rising. The afternoon light faded, painting the kitchen in soft whispers of gold. They worked through their fears, the laughter easing the tension. With every plan made, their spirits lifted. But as they crafted their message, Lisa couldn't shake off the feeling deep inside her of fear that perhaps sharing their truth would open floodgates to deeper pain. What would happen if others revealed their own struggles? What if they faced judgment or worse, indifference? As night fell, they finalized their video, hearts racing with the vulnerability that lay ahead. They pressed record, their hands trembling slightly with a mix of hope and apprehension. And then they spoke. "Hi, we're Lisa and Jake from the gathering place, and today we want to share something important with you." Just as the words began to flow, a sudden knock echoed through the house, disrupting their moment. They exchanged bewildered glances. Who could it be now? Lisa's heart thudded against her chest with a new intensity. Jake, are you ready for whatever this might be? With a deep breath, they paused their recording, prepared to face another unexpected twist in their journey. The knock came again, louder this time, a decisive sound that reverberated through the cozy kitchen. Lisa's instincts kicked in, a mix of curiosity and apprehension swirling inside her. Who could be on the other side of that door? Should we see who it is? Jake asked, his voice barely above a whisper. There was a glint of worry in his eyes, but also a flicker of eagerness. Yeah, let us check it out, Lisa said, trying to sound more confident than she felt. A knot of anticipation tightened in her stomach as she walked towards the front door, Jake closely following. When she opened the door, her breath caught in her throat. It was Mrs. Anderson, their elderly neighbor, standing with a plate of freshly baked cookies and a warm smile that seemed to light up the dim porch. I hope I'm not interrupting. I just wanted to share these with you too, and well, I heard you were up to something important. Lisa and Jake exchanged a glance, a silent conversation of surprise and relief passing between them. Not at all, Mrs. Anderson. We were actually just getting ready to share something ourselves, Lisa said, a hopeful smile breaking through her worry. Oh, I'd love to hear it, Mrs. Anderson said, her eyes twinkling with genuine interest. It's so nice to see you both taking this step. The community cares deeply for the gathering place, you know. The weight of her words settled around them. Lisa felt the warmth of the moment, as if Mrs. Anderson's presence had wrapped them in a comforting blanket. We're hoping to open up a conversation about how we're feeling about the cafe, everything, Lisa admitted, her voice emboldened by the supportive presence of her neighbor. Jake stepped forward, glancing nervously at the plate of cookies. Would you like to join us while we share our video? It's kind of about reaching out to everyone. Mrs. Anderson beamed, stepping gently inside. Oh, I'd be honored. And it's perfect timing, I have a few stories about that cafe's past that might just lift your spirits. They gathered around the kitchen table, the atmosphere shifting from tension to hopeful camaraderie. As Lisa set her phone back up to record, Jake held his breath, a nervous smile tugging at his lips. This wasn't just about the cafe anymore. It was about connection, community, and bringing everyone together. Okay, we're back, Lisa said, her heart racing with anticipation. She pressed record again, and the camera captured not just her and Jake, but now Mrs. Anderson too. Hi everyone. We're Lisa and Jake from the gathering place, and today we want to open up a real conversation about our struggles and what this cafe means to all of us. As the words flowed, Jake felt a growing sense of belonging. The familiar faces of those he loved, those who filled the cafe each day, sprang to mind. Suddenly, he felt stronger, his voice steadied as he shared his truth alongside his mother. From across the table, Mrs. Anderson chimed in with her own memories, stories of laughter, tears, and the warmth that a simple cup of coffee could bring. The three of them were no longer just individuals. Together they became a beacon of hope. As they wrapped up the video, Jake felt exhilarated. What if we made this a regular thing? He proposed, surprising even himself. Like a community sharing circle? The idea hung in the air, promising and bright. Lisa's heart swelled. What if we made it live? So everyone can join the conversation right here, right now. Just as they exchanged excited glances, another knock broke through their reverie, louder this time and layered with urgency. Lisa looked towards the door, her smile faltering for a moment. What now? She breathed, feeling that bubbling mixture of hope and dread rise inside her again. Maybe it's someone else that needs to talk, Jake suggested, his voice tinged with anticipation. But as Lisa opened the door, her heart raced with uncertainty. Who would enter next and what truth would it bring? Lisa opened the door slowly, each creak of the hinges echoing in the tense silence. A gust of chilly air brushed against her face, mingling with the warmth from the kitchen, creating an odd juxtaposition. Standing there, slightly hunched over, was a young woman with a familiar face tangled in a look of concern. Emily, Lisa blurted out, her heart skipping a beat. What are you doing here? Emily was a former barista at the gathering place, someone who had once been part of their little family before she moved away. But the tremor in her voice suggested it was more than just a casual visit. I had to come, I got your message, she stammered, pulling her worn jacket tighter around herself as if trying to shield her nerves. I know things have been tough and I wanted to come in. Jake interrupted, stepping forward to usher her inside. You should be here. As Emily entered, Lisa's heart thudded in her chest. The last time she had seen Emily was at the cafe's last community event. Alex had been pulling out all the stops to make sure everyone felt welcome and wanted. "What's going on, Em?" Lisa asked gently, sensing the weight of the moment. Emily took a deep breath and looked down at her hands. When she spoke, her voice was full of emotion. "I can't stay quiet about what I've been holding in. I found out that my dad is well, he's really struggling. I didn't know how to help, especially after everything that's happened to the gathering place." Lisa's stomach tightened. She had been so lost in their own issues at the cafe that she'd forgotten about the ripple effects that reached out to others. "I'm so sorry to hear that," she said softly, reaching out to touch Emily's arm. Jake leaned in closer, a supportive presence that calmed the unfolding tension. "What can we do? How can we help you?" Emily looked up, her eyes shining with unshed tears as if she had finally found the courage to speak her truth. "I don't know, I guess I just wanted to talk. To know that I'm not alone. The cafe meant so much to my family," and now Lisa felt her heart swell. "You're not alone. We're all in this together, Em." Jake nodded, his expression earnest. "What if we shared this story during our live conversation? It could inspire others to speak out about their struggles too." Emily's lips curled into a hesitant smile. "Do you think so?" "Absolutely," Lisa affirmed, feeling hope and resolve well up inside her. "Let us create a space where everyone can share their pain and support each other. That's what the gathering place is all about." Just as the energy in the room began to shift towards optimism, another knock resounded through the house, sharp and demanding. Lisa's heart raced again. "What now? Is it the universe telling us we're not done yet?" Jake joked, but his eyes betrayed a similar sense of apprehension. "We have to find out," Lisa replied, her curiosity outweighing her fear. As she opened the door once more, she held her breath, wondering who else might step into their conversation and what other truths they'd bring with them. Could this be the turning point for everyone? Or would they be faced with another unforeseen challenge? Lisa hesitated for a moment, her hand resting on the doorknob, heart racing. The chill in the air seemed even more piercing now. With a deep breath, she yanked the door open. Standing there was a man in a worn-out baseball cap and a faded blue jacket, his eyes wide with urgency. "I'm sorry to intrude," he said quickly, wringing his hands together. "My name is Mark. I heard about the cafe and what happened. I needed to talk to someone." Emily's expression shifted from surprise to recognition. "Mark, is that you? From high school?" Mark nodded, though his eyes were glassy, almost pleading. "Yeah, it's me. I didn't think I'd ever come back, but things happened." Jake stepped forward, instinctively drawing Mark into the warmth of their home, as Lisa moved out of the way. "Come in, please. What's going on?" As Mark stepped across the threshold, the chill he brought with him seemed to crash against the warmth surrounding them. He glanced at Emily, a flicker of nostalgia in his eyes. "I got your message too, Em. I've been following your story ever since it hit the news, and I think we share a connection that maybe could help all of us." "Connection?" Lisa echoed, a mix of curiosity and apprehension swirling inside her. "Yeah," Mark began, his voice steadying as he found his footing. "My brother used to be a regular at the gathering place. Kyle. He struggled more than you know, and now he's missing." Emily gasped, her hand covering her mouth. "Oh my God, Mark, I'm so sorry. I didn't know." Mark pushed his cap back nervously. "I didn't want to reach out before. But when this all unfolded, it hit me hard. I felt like I had to tell someone. Maybe we could find a way to help each other." Lisa exchanged a glance with Jake, their silent conversation full of uncertainty. "What do you need from us?" Lisa asked gently. I think if we share our truths, our stories, we might reach someone who can help," Mark said, his voice trembling slightly. "I don't want to let my brother down. And there's a part of me that believes if I can share what we went through, it might bring him home." Lisa felt a lump in her throat. Each new visitor brought their own pain, their own struggles, and yet they were all weaving a tapestry of shared stories, fears, and hope. Emily squeezed Mark's arm, a gesture of unspoken solidarity. "You're right. We can all be part of something bigger together." As Mark started to share his brother's story, the room shifted with raw emotion. Tears filled his eyes as he spoke of the loving connection they once had, a bond forged through struggles both spoken and unspoken. Late-night talks, inside jokes, dreams dashed, Then came the jab of reality, chilling their warmth. What if sharing their truths did not lead to clarity or resolution? What if it only deepened the wounds they were still carrying? Just then, Lisa's phone buzzed violently on the kitchen counter. The sudden noise broke through the heavy atmosphere, and everyone turned instinctively toward it, hearts pounding in anticipation. What could that be? Jake murmured, his brows furrowed. Lisa reached for the phone, her fingers trembling as she picked it up. A message flashed across the screen, one she had never expected to see. As she read it, her heart sank and soared at the same time. It's from Alex, she breathed, uncertainty and hope twined into one thought. He could have something important to tell us. The conversation halted, and all eyes were glued to her, the air thick with expectancy. Would it answer some of their lingering questions? Or would it lead them further down a path of anxiety and doubt? Should I open it? Lisa asked, glancing around the room. With an air of impending revelation hanging overhead, she paused, seemingly at a crossroads. What would Alex say? With every eye on her, Lisa felt the weight of their gazes, not just the curiosity, but the raw hope and fear woven into this moment. She could feel her heart pounding in her throat, and the phone felt heavier than it should have as she held it. Open it, Lisa, Mark urged quietly, his voice almost cracking. We need to know. Emily nodded firmly, squeezing Mark's hand. We're all in this together. Whatever it is, we'll face it. Taking a deep breath, Lisa glanced down at the message again. That nagging fear gnawed at her. What if this only led to more pain? But the pull was stronger. She looked up, determination sparking in her chest. Okay, here goes. With a swift motion, she tapped the message open. A moment of silence hanging like a thin thread. The screen illuminated her face in a soft glow, casting shadows in the corners of the room. The voice message began, playing a familiar tone, hesitant yet filled with warmth. Hey Mom, it's me, Alex. His voice was like a lifeline thrown out into a sea of doubt, and a strange comfort surged through her. I'm not sure when you'll get this. I hope you're okay. Listen, I wanted to tell you something important. Something I didn't know how to say before. There was a crack in his voice, a sound that made her heart wrench in a knot. Mark and Emily leaned in closer, the tension in the air palpable. Things have been hard for me, I know. Alex continued, and she felt each word settle deep within her. I haven't made it easy on you, and I'm sorry. But I want you to know you're not alone in this. I've learned so much about myself lately. I found some people who understand, who care. Tears welled in Lisa's eyes, a mix of relief and the pang of worry swirling like a storm. Most importantly, Mom, I love you. I'm trying to find my way back. And I hope you're still waiting for me. The words hung in the air, unspooling a fragile thread of hope through all of them. The message ended abruptly, leaving a silence that felt impossibly loud. Lisa looked up at Mark and Emily, her eyes shimmering with unspoken words. What does that mean? What does it really mean? Mark asked, his voice a whisper, filled with hope and trepidation. She could hardly find her own voice, the weight of Alex's words circling in her mind. He's trying to reach out. He wants to come home. Suddenly, Lisa felt a wave of warmth rush over her. We have to help him, we have to find him and let him know we're here. Jake placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder, the comfort radiating from him. We'll do whatever it takes. But there was something tugging at Lisa's heart. What if Alex was stuck, faced with challenges that were bigger than any of them understood? Would they be able to reach him before it was too late? As they shared a glance, determination coursing through them, Lisa felt something inside her shift. They were stepping into unknown territory now. A path riddled with obstacles but also filled with possibility. Can we organize a search? Mark suggested, his voice gaining strength. Spread the word, connect with people who might have seen him. Absolutely, Lisa agreed, her spirit awakening. But even as she felt a swell of purpose, a gnawing worry crossed her mind. What if he feels like he can't come back? What if he needs something more than just our love? They stood in the warm glow of the kitchen, a stark contrast to the chill from before. Each had their own fears and hopes swirling in unison. They were finding their way together, but there were still shadows lurking at the edges of their resolve. With newfound determination, they began to form a plan, but a thought nagged at the back of Lisa's mind. What hidden truths lay in Alex's silence? Before they delved deeper into their next steps, Mark hesitated, creating a sudden stillness in the room. What if it's not just about finding Alex? What if there's more we need to uncover about ourselves? As those words settled in the air, Lisa felt a chill run down her spine. She turned to Mark, sensing the weight of the stories lying beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered. What do you think that means? She asked, her heart racing once more. Could their journeys intertwine in ways they had never expected? Would they find not just Alex, but the truths buried in their own pasts as well? The silence in the kitchen wrapped around them like a thick fog, heavy with unspoken truths. Lisa looked at the people she loved most. Mark, his brow furrowed with worry. Emily, tears glinting in her eyes. And Jake, a calm presence but with questions of his own. Every moment felt like a heartbeat, each tick of time amplifying the weight of their unvoiced fears. What if we've all been holding on to our own secrets? Mark finally whispered, breaking the stillness. His words seemed to ripple through the room. What if uncovering those could really change how we help Alex? Lisa's heart raced at the thought. Was this the moment they began to peel away their own layers? The idea was both thrilling and terrifying. You think it could help us understand him better? She asked, a flicker of hope igniting in her chest. Emily drew a shaky breath. Maybe Alex is wrapped up in our struggles as much as we are. If we're honest with each other, I think that could help us figure out how to reach him. Jake nodded slowly, his mind likely piecing together the puzzle of their family. There's a lot we haven't talked about. Stuff that lingers in the shadows, unspoken fears we bury deep. His voice softened. I've never really opened up about my own past. Perhaps it's time? Each of them exchanged glances, the air vibrating with a sense of potential. They had been navigating their individual pain, but together, maybe they could form a bridge back to Alex. Okay, Lisa said, her voice steadying. Let us take a step back. What have we been avoiding? She took a deep breath, letting the words hang in the air below the glow of the kitchen lights. Mark shifted, discomfort played across his features. Well, I never told you both how scared I was when Alex first started pulling away. I felt helpless. He paused, as if the confession was a stone dislodging from a wall he'd built around his heart. I thought I was doing everything right, but it felt like everything went wrong. Emily gripped Mark's hand tighter. I thought it was my fault, too. I always wondered if my struggles were too much for him. What if he just felt overwhelmed by our family? Tears pooled in her eyes again. I wanted to be strong for him, but I felt so fragile. Jake's expression transformed, sympathy washing over him. I carry my own guilt. When things got tough, I checked out emotionally. I thought maybe if I didn't show it, everyone would be okay. I didn't realize it just made things worse. Their confessions hung in the air, weighted with shared vulnerability. Lisa felt tears spill down her cheeks. Raw emotions broke through the protective barriers they had all built. What if Alex feels this same way? Lisa murmured, wiping her eyes. What if he's watching us struggle, thinking he needs to shoulder everything alone? The thought settled like a stone in her stomach. They all nodded, realization dawning. Their histories were intertwined not just with Alex but with each other. In unearthing their truths, they could illuminate the path for him. I think we need to write it down, Mark suggested suddenly, urgency lacing his voice. We should each write a letter to him. Share these feelings and truths. Let him see that we're fighting his fight too. Lisa's heart swelled with the idea. Yes, we can make it a promise. A pledge that we're all committed to facing whatever it is together. A renewed energy coursed through the group as they rallied around the kitchen table. Each of them began to jot down their feelings, the words flowing like a river, both freeing and painful. Tears mingled with laughter as they shared their most sacred thoughts. As the letters took shape, Lisa felt an unexpected warmth settle in her heart. Maybe this was what they needed to do. It was more than just finding Alex. It was about becoming the family they were meant to be, united in their struggles, their vulnerabilities, their love. But even as the hope sparked bright among them, Lisa could not shake off the looming question. What truths might unravel once they shared their thoughts with Alex? Would he see their scars and embrace them, or would he be overwhelmed by the weight of it all? As the evening wore on, a collective clarity began to form. They were not only fighting for Alex but also reclaiming their own narratives. The challenge ahead, however, felt monumental, akin to laying bare their souls to the very person they loved and worried about most. Just as Lisa finished her letter, a shiver of anxious anticipation rippled through her. Do you think he'll be ready for this? She whispered, glancing at the letters piled on the table. An echo of silence answered, leaving them to wonder about the walls yet to be scaled. As they prepared to reach out, a flicker of uncertainty danced in the air. Could this really be the key to bringing Alex home? The atmosphere in Lisa's kitchen had shifted dramatically from hesitation to anticipation. The letters they scribbled down were not just words. They were lifelines, hopes sewn into paper. Each one held a story, a piece of their shared journey, a testament to their struggles and a promise to face the future together. As they finished crafting their thoughts, Lisa looked around the table, her heart swelling with pride. Jake's eyes sparkled with determination, Emily's face glowed with resolution, and Mark's quiet strength was empowering. They were not just a group of individuals. They were a united front against the uncertainties looming over them. Okay, Lisa said, her voice steady despite the underlying longing. Let us wrap these letters up and send them out together. This is about Alex, but it's also about us. He needs to know he's not fighting his demons alone. They each folded their letters, sealing their messages of love and understanding with the strength of their newfound connection. With every crease and fold, they felt a weight lifting, a sense of clarity settling in. They weren't just inviting Alex back. They were opening a door for him to discover that healing could come from vulnerability shared bravely. The light in the kitchen dimmed as evening fell, but their spirits remained bright. When they finally placed the letters inside an envelope, it felt like sealing away the old burdens they all carried. Creating space for new beginnings, it was both daunting and exhilarating. With the next step clear, laughter spilled forth as they kicked around ideas of how to reach Alex. What if we went to his favorite spots? Jake suggested, his lips curving into a grin. He loved the old tree by the park. We could leave something for him there. Great idea, Emily exclaimed, her enthusiasm infectious. And we can spread the word on social media. Let everyone know we're coming together to support him. Yes, the more the merrier, Lisa added, her heart swelling as she envisioned a wave of support flooding toward Alex. But it has to come from a place of love, not pressure. As they formulated their plan, a sense of purpose anchored them. In that moment, they were not just trying to help Alex. They were also reclaiming their stories, showcasing the strength in their weaknesses. They were finding freedom in their connections, in their shared history, and honestly confronting the hurts that lingered beneath the surface. The conversations flowed naturally, peppered with joyous laughter and tears of hope. They exchanged memories of happier times, laughter echoing through the rooms that once felt weighed down by shadows. Each story stitched them closer together, creating a tapestry of support, one that they hoped would reach Alex wherever he was. Hours slipped away as they worked, but all at once the doorbell rang again. This time, instead of the anxious uncertainty they had felt before, a warm thrill surged through them. Could this be a sign, a message from Alex himself? Should we see who it is? Jake asked, hope creeping into his voice. Definitely, Lisa replied, her heart racing with excitement. She pushed the door open and was met not only by fresh air but also several neighbors standing on the porch, all carrying cookies, books, and kind-hearted intentions. Did we hear there was a letter campaign happening? Mrs. Thompson beamed, her face radiant. We want to help. The sight filled Lisa with warmth. Her community was rising up to support them. The love they had offered the cafe was now directed toward each other. News of their plans had spread, igniting a sense of collective hope. People were ready to rally not just around the cafe, but around Lisa, Jake, Emily, Mark, and even Alex. And that moment, tears spilled from Lisa's eyes. The warmth drying them was not just from the sunlight outside, but from the newfound sense of being surrounded by love. Let us do it, she said, her heart brimming. Let us save our cafe and bring Alex home together. And as the cozy home transformed into a bustling hub of community, with laughter and excitement intermingling, Lisa felt for the first time in a long while there was a profound sense of hope. The shadows that had loomed so large began to dissipate into nothingness, as friendship and love began to fill their space, their lives. They were choosing to embrace their vulnerabilities, their stories, and now more than ever, they were ready to face the future. Love had ignited their journey, would lead them to find Alex, and perhaps, just perhaps, help him rewrite his own story of belonging and healing. In a world steeped in uncertainty, they made a powerful choice: to stand united, to embrace their truth, and to share their light with one another. This is the moment to show your support. You need to subscribe now to not miss our next exclusive stories that will inspire you further. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, letting it know you love what we're creating. Comment your reactions and feelings about this incredible ending. Your thoughts matter. And remember, share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Don't wait not even one more second to share and connect. Your support is what makes all this possible. Thank you.